Morning guys, how you doing? You got a full day of presentations and I apologize ahead of time. We're going to talk a lot. We got I think 3 or 4 of the people just within this presentation, counselors, deans, athletic director, activities director. We're going to give you a lot of information, but things have changed in the last day or so. So I will change a couple of these slides, but essentially most of the information is the same, with the hope that we're going to get back to school sooner rather than later. So, like I said, I'm the IT director, and my goal is when you walk out of here that you feel at least a little bit more comfortable with what you need to do if something goes awry, if your Chromebook breaks, if you can't get onto some software, and you're at home. Okay, so that's my goal, is to help you with that remote learning from the tech side. So first of all, just a couple of reminders about Chromebook Care. Please make sure that you have a charged Chromebook, and I understand that it's remote learning, I can just plug it in right there. But eventually we will be back in school, and whatever routine you had when you started here as a freshman in these last 3 years, you do your homework, it's time to go to bed, plug that Chromebook in, and that was your routine, and you have a fully charged Chromebook for the next day. Continue with that routine, because we will be back here, okay? Bringing your Chromebook every day and not sharing Chromebooks, just 2 quick reminders. Here's the thing though, if your Chromebook is damaged, right? Every year, when the seniors are about ready to graduate in May, they have to bring their Chromebooks back, we deprovision them and give them back to you guys. You guys get to keep them. We find that a ton of those Chromebooks have a cracked screen, a couple keys missing, the hinge is broken off of it. You have insurance on those. So if for some reason something happens to your Chromebook, don't be afraid to bring it in. Now I understand if it's like the 5th or 6th time you've done that, eventually the insurance is not going to pay for it. But if you haven't done that very often, don't go with a shoddy Chromebook, right? We can't replace it, but we can definitely fix it for you. Okay, so please don't be shy about that. We understand accidents do happen. The one thing that we can't do in terms of insurance is the charger. So if you did lose the charger over the summer, make sure you get a new one. You can come to the Chrome Depot and get one. We do need to charge you $25 for that though, okay? If you get it on your own for less, that's great. But if you're missing a charger, you're gonna need that, because we're gonna be using those Chromebooks every day for remote learning. Okay, so issues with your Chromebook. If you're in school, when we come back, we're going to go just like we did it in the past. You have an issue with the Chromebook, it's broken, you didn't bring it in that day, it's not holding the charge, you didn't charge it, you come in to Chrome Depot, we'll give you a loaner. However, at home, you wake up, you're ready to do your school work next week, and all of a sudden your Chromebook doesn't turn on, or you accidentally drop it, and you crack the screen, you can't see half of the presentation. Please email us with our ticketing system at IT. Our ticketing system is called sos@d220.org. sos@d220.org. Please don't email your counselor, dean, e-learning group, your teacher. Here's what happens. When you email them, they can't really help you much, so they forward it on to us. And that time that it takes for them to read the email, they might not pick it up right away, and then forward it on to us, and us to get it. We don't have all your information. We don't have that direct contact with you anymore with correspondence. So if you email sos@d220.org, it goes into our ticketing system. All of our techs, and we have a lot of them here at Reavis, all of them get it. One of them can grab that ticket, get back to you right away. And we could probably, sometimes we can troubleshoot it. You don't even have to come in. And we can walk you through how to fix it. And if it is something that needs fixing, like a broken screen, then we can set up a time for you to come in, because the Chrome Depot hours may change with remote learning, okay? And your counselor, your dean, might not know when those hours are as they change, okay? So sos@d220.org. And the last thing is, please make sure that you write out a detailed description. It doesn't have to be a whole paragraph, but tell us what's wrong with your Chromebook, okay? Don't just say it's broken. If that's all you know, that's fine. Tell us it doesn't turn on, the hinge broke off of it, the space bar doesn't work. Please be specific with your issue. All right, so what are some other reasons that you might contact IT with remote learning especially? Number one is that first one listed up there, and that is you have no internet service. I just got a 7th text from my wife about our shoddy internet service at our house, and then my daughter got kicked off. She's a senior just like you guys, got kicked off her biology Zoom meeting. What am I supposed to do? I can't help her right now. You know, I can help you guys because we have Khajiits. If you lose internet service, you got, let's say for instance, Comcast cut your line accidentally, or you're moving, or you're changing providers, whatever the reason is, we can help you. We have a Khajiit device that you can check out like a library book right in the Chrome Depot. It'll connect to your Chromebook like a hotspot would, and you can get limited internet access. Now, you're not going to be able to stream YouTube videos all day long, but you can get to Schoology, you can get to your Google assignments, and take care of your schoolwork, okay? So if there's any issues with that, we are here to help you, okay? SOS@d220.org. Also, you might contact us if you're having issues with logging on to certain software. I know at times IXL can be a little wonky where you can't get on as your user. So you can also email your teacher and say, hey, Mr. Smiles, IXL math isn't working right now, so that's why I didn't do today's assignment, but he's not going to be able to fix that for you. Please email us with the issue that you have, okay? So any software concerns. All right, how to log on to your Chromebook. You guys are seniors, you should know this. Just a reminder, it's your Google credentials if you haven't been on it all summer. The reason I bring this up, though, is because it's also how you would log on to Schoology. And I will tell you this, you're going to be going into your classes, a quick round into your classes later today. I can guarantee you many of your teachers are going to say, hey, we're using Schoology this year. Because it's set up for online learning, it's a great platform if you're going remote, like we are. So if you use Schoology fairly often last year, it's going to be even more this year. The biggest ticket issue we get when it comes to Schoology, related to Schoology, is kids that can't log on, and the reason is, most of the time, is because the student is going to Schoology by just Googling Schoology, and when you Google Schoology, it comes up app.schoology.com or just schoology.com, and then they try and log on from there. That's just their main site. It'll tell you can log in, and then it's going to say, nope, we don't have that user in our system. It's because we have a very specific platform called Reavis.schoology.com. That's the only way you can get in to get your coursework, to get your classes. So my advice is, when you do that for the first time, bookmark it. If you haven't already done that last year, bookmark it. So right away, every time you want to access it, you can just click on the bookmark and you'll pull up Reavis.schoology.com. You plug in your Google credentials and you can get in and see your coursework, okay? And the last slide I have for you is using GoGuardian. Some of you probably had teachers that use GoGuardian if they wanted to kind of lock in your screen, to monitor your screen, to keep you from going on a lot of different tabs and opening up new tabs. They wanted to keep you directed into one particular website. So they can do that using GoGuardian. Now they did that in your class. They can also do that remotely. So teachers may be asking you to go to GoGuardian, plug in this access code that they're going to give you. You only have to do it once a year per teacher. And then it will, during that session, while you're with the teacher, lock you into certain things, okay? I just want to make you aware when they ask you to plug in this access code that it's okay to do so, okay? I hope you have a great year, and I hope to see you guys soon in school. Thanks, guys.
Okay, good morning. Mrs. Azadi here along with Mrs. Schultz. She's our college and career expert. Only a couple more of these presentations, and you get to go meet your teachers and go through your schedule. But we definitely want to address a couple things with you, especially seniors now, with what's going on and how is that going to affect, what is your plan for next year. Mrs. Schultz will talk a little bit about that as well, but we definitely wanted to make sure that we are here to help you. I don't care if you are applying to Princeton, Stanford, DePaul, Loyola, St. Xavier, Moraine Valley, Morton College. We're gonna do the best job that we possibly can to make sure that you are informed, you are aware of deadlines, and you know what you need to do. And then if you don't know how to do it, we are going to help you. Now, when I say help, it's going to be a little bit different this year. All right, what do I mean by that? Well, you used to just waltz in my classroom or my office and probably eat all my candy, and we would solve a problem face to face, and I'd write you a pass for your next hour, and we're good to go. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. And even if we go back to the blended model, when you're here 2 days a week, that's not going to happen. What they want is everything to be handled through email or phone calls. So how I handled a lot of issues in the summer was I'm like, you've got to give me your cell phone number. I'll call you. We'll figure it out. We'll work together. I'll do what I can. And I think you guys know that if, as your counselor, whatever I can do, I do to make your life as easy as possible. So if you need to see any one of us, or you have an issue with your schedule, or you're concerned about not having enough credits to graduate, or you're concerned about going to college next year, please email us. We will help you. We will provide you a vision, a path for you to take. So when you do leave this high school with a diploma, you're good to go. Now, one of the things that will help this year with our communication is we're going to create a Google Classroom, a guidance classroom. So you might want to check that. And then we will be sending Remind 101 app. So, if you want to take 1 minute right now, seniors, I think it's very crucial to be in the loop, especially how everything is, what's the word? Fluid. Everything is fluid. Everything is happening, and the rules change every other week. So if you could take out your phones, I want you to text at Reavis 2021 to 81010. This is a way for us to mass communicate to you guys, and then if we need to text you on the side, we can. We don't really have your phone number, but this will allow us to communicate one-on-one, another layer of communication we feel is very important and vital to your success. So once again, if you cannot see it, it's at Reavis 2021, and you're texting that to 81010. Some of you are successful, because my iWatch is absolutely blasting off right now, so that's good. Good stuff there. What else? Testing is important. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't know. I just said that it's changing. We are hearing from colleges more and more that colleges are going to accept you based on your GPA, your credits, and your class rank. And maybe some colleges understand that we're going through a pandemic, and your SATs that you should have taken last year, they might be optional. They might not. All right? We're still learning, and as we're learning, we want to relay that information to you. Okay? So I know Mrs. Schultz maybe will talk a little bit more about that, because that's her area, and she will.
Alright, so we all know in April we missed that SAT date, right? I'm sorry, it was a bummer, I was sad. But now we're in August, and we are very hopeful, we're fingers crossed, that we'll have an SAT state test for you guys on October 14th here at Reavis. We have to cross our fingers though, because like Mr. Zasada said, everything is fluid, meaning we don't know what's going to happen sometimes next week, right? We can all kind of agree with that. We gave you guys a big message yesterday, which kind of changed what you guys will be doing next week, okay? However, we want you guys to keep note of that date, and we obviously will be communicating with you if that does happen. Also, we know what a national SAT and ACT date are. Does anybody know what that is? A national test date, what day of the week do those happen on? Oh wow, anybody? Those are the Saturday test dates, okay? So if you are interested, and we do encourage you to take in a Saturday test date, whether or not it's the SAT or the ACT, what that does is it gives you a score. So if you do need it for the college you do decide to go to, if you don't get to take it on October 14th here at Reavis, you do have that score, okay? So that makes sense. If you are eligible for a fee waiver, you can reach out to me or Mr. Zasada. We can get you a code to go ahead and log on to College Board. You guys remember that account you used? Maybe you don't, but we need to check back in with that information and log back into our College Board so that we can get you registered for one of those tests. Do you have a clicker? Okay, so these are the Saturday test dates that you could register for the SAT. I have to tell you though, September 26th we were set to host that at Reavis, and we are no longer hosting that on September 26th. So if you're sitting here and you're one of those seniors that did register for that test, College Board will be reaching out to you to reschedule your testing center. Does that make sense? So you'll get an email from them if that was you. If you're sitting here now thinking, oh, I need to do that, I want to register, you can go ahead onto College Board, like I mentioned, and pick one of the other SAT dates for Saturdays, if that's something you're interested in. And then ACT. So obviously we know 2 different tests. You guys have been prepping with Khan Academy, kind of to prep you for the SAT. ACT, like we mentioned last year, colleges look at both scores, okay? So if you take one or the other, they do kind of view them with the same weight. What better score you have, they're going to take into consideration. So it's really up to you guys. And if you have questions about which one you might want to take, you can always email me, Mr. Zasada. We can have a conversation about that too. Same thing with the fee waiver. Okay, so I want to stress before I hand this over to Ms. Johnson, me and Mr. Zasada are here, and it's really important this semester more so than any other one before that if you do need help in any way, you have to send us that email, okay? You go on your email account, you go ahead and type in Schultz, my picture is right there. Not Principal Schultz, but you'll see me there. Mr. Zasada, I think he has a ram as his picture. That's really our primary place to start. If you have a question about anything we talked about today, we'll tackle that. We can Google Meet, we can email back and forth, phone calls. It's kind of a lot going on for you guys this fall semester, but we will help you in any way that you need it, okay? Oh, one more thing.
No, I just wanted to also talk to you, there's a couple things that we're going to do when we talk about communication on our website. You're probably going to see here in the next month, there's going to be some how-to things. So normally we would come in the classroom and explain that to you. We're no different than teachers. We're going to try to explain that to you visually, some screencasts where we will give you step-by-step instructions on how to send your transcripts to a school, how to fill out a college application, when's the deadline for enough. We're going to try to do the best job we can, all right, as counselors to get that information relayed to you on the website. So, like those of you just signed up for the Remind 101, we have something put up on the website. We'll remind you, hey, take a look at the Reavis website. This will give you step-by-step instructions on how to apply to Moraine Valley, when to apply to Moraine Valley, how to apply to scholarships, how to send your transcripts that these schools are requesting immediately. Good luck your senior year. You've got your classes. I think that's great. But then you also have to have in the back of your mind, there has to be a plan for after Reavis, and we're here to help you with that. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Johnson, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about some more stuff.
All right, guys and girls, you know that I'm not the school nurse, and yesterday this slide was important when we were talking about being in the building, okay? But I think it's important still. You gotta wear that mask above your nose and on your mouth. You gotta wash your hands for 20 seconds, right? We've gotta remain social distance in today's society. I know that seems really hard, especially when you're a teenager and all you want to do is be with your friends. But we have to be safe. So the school nurse just wanted me to share some things with you. One's still going to apply that final bullet there. If you are very sick, okay, you still have to have your parents call even for remote learning if you are unable to engage in learning for that day or for that week. So have your parents call the attendance line, and we can still put you in. You still get your 5 excused days for a semester. You know that we are here for you. I hope you realize that. So I think you guys are the A's, so you guys have Mr. Buckle. If you need anything, you can put your counselor and your dean on a message so that 2 people in your team are engaged with you and can help you in any way they can. All right, I'm gonna skip that. In-person learning, if we come back to in-person learning, when we come back to in-person learning, we're gonna start at 8 a.m., just like we were supposed to start on Monday, all right? For remote learning, it's going to be the same. And it sounds like, you know, hey, in the spring, we didn't log in until 11. You are gonna log in at 8 a.m. because you're going to run school just like we would if we were here, but it's going to be virtual, which means you need to be engaged at 8 a.m. And I know when you're at home, that seems difficult, but it's the way it's going to be, and we are all in this, well, every school in the state is going to be doing this at some point in time. We are in this together. As difficult as it may be, we've got to get back to some normalcy, so we're going to start at 8 a.m. Do not forget to log in. Even if you're like, oh, I've got math first hour, and I'm already on that virtual session, there's 2 different things. That teacher isn't taking attendance for you. You are taking attendance for yourself through that link on the website. It's going to be in the same exact place it was last semester. All right, you log in, you just put your ID number, say that you are going to be engaged in learning today, you click that, you hit submit, and that's what it is. Questions about that? Okay, if you don't do that, we are going to be calling your house and your parents, you know, at 8 a.m. So, Mr. Morak is next.
Morning, everyone. My name is Troy. We're here talking about athletics. Basically, you look up at that screen. You look up at that screen, you see that the United States has broken down the seasons in 4 seasons instead of 3. So, you remember last year it was fall, winter, and spring. Now we've added one. Okay, we kind of go out into the summer there at the end. The spring season doesn't start until May, when it traditionally used to start in March. Okay. We were lucky to start on Monday with some sports. Those sports were boys and girls cross country. They practice every day at 3 o'clock. They meet out on the patio. Girls swim at the pool. They're at 3 o'clock. Boys and girls golf. You contact Mr. Young, but they're at Waters Edge Golf Course, 115 tomorrow. And then you have girls tennis, they're at the tennis courts at 4:30. If you're interested in any of those, we've had some volleyball players and football players. So you can see that has been moved to the spring, along with soccer and cheer and dancing. They moved that to the spring. We've had some of those players actually come out and play for our tennis team or golf team. So you can do that. You can potentially be a 4-sport athlete. So that's cool. We need you involved. How many people show hands have been involved some way with athletics activities? Okay, good. That's good. You should. You should still try to do as much as you can. Now is probably the best time to do it, right? So we have a little bit of time on our hands. We need you. If you're interested in signing up for any of these, go to 8-18, sign up. Okay, the thing's on there. I sent you an email as well. It's also on social media. One thing I would tell you, get a physical. Okay, you're planning on being on campus at all for any sports, you must have a physical to try out. Okay, so that is, the in-person physicals have been very difficult to get. So my suggestion to you is to make an appointment quickly if you plan on playing one of those sports that aren't starting, that haven't started already. Okay, if you plan on like November, the winter season, spring season, or summer season, make sure you get your physical. Okay? I'm going to turn over to Mr. Wayne to talk about activities.
Good morning, everyone. By now, as a senior, you have developed a passion for something here at Reavis, and one of the best things you can do is, if you've been involved in drama, if you've been involved with bass fishing, chess, whatever it may be that you've been a part of as far as student activities go, the first step we should do is send an email out to that teacher, coach, or sponsor, and just say, hey, what are we doing for senior year? Just let them know you're still out there, because we're going to slowly unroll some of these activities as we go along here. And communication with that adult who's in charge of that is going to be a big key for that. Check your social media sites, all the Reavis ones. Check your email. Check the website. If you haven't done so by your senior year, please put the Reavis app on your phone. Reavis app is great because of the fact that besides all the things you can access, you will get the student announcements sent to your phone every day, and that gives you all the information you need to know as far as getting involved with any of these things. So it's really important because this year is going to look a little different for you. Normally, September, this is your season, seniors. We'd be getting getting ready for you guys to win the Spirit Stick at the homecoming assembly. All right? Coach Morak told us football's been moved into the late winter, early spring. Hopefully we have a football season. Hopefully we have a homecoming. Hopefully you guys are in the gym winning the Spirit Stick for us. We're going to try to make all those things happen for you, but you just have to be patient and you got to stay in good communication with us. Right now we know virtually from the IHSA that they are going to run an IHSA virtual speech season. They're on an IHSA virtual chess season. Still talking about Scholastic Bowl. Mathletes in the conference are still talking about running some kind of Zoom virtual season. And then other in-person things might be happening based on what's going on. So just stay in good communication with us, be patient. By Labor Day, we'll have a definite plan for you as far as a lot of those activities. Do you have any questions for Coach Morak or activities or athletics or anything else? We both just want to